So in the course of a day, we get several phone calls regarding bed bugs and several questions with those phone calls as well. And one of them is, what's the most likely place to pick up bed bugs? And that can really be narrowed down to just a few places. And it really kind of works like this. It's somewhere that you are frequently visiting and sitting stationary for any period of time, or somewhere that you spend the night. Where you might leave items for extended periods of time, like luggage, purses, coats, and other personal items. So this could be a hotel, it could be a plane, it could be a taxi, it could be a friend's house, a family member's house, and a variety of other places. You can't really narrow it down because it's just such a broad diversity of places. So some people ask if you can get bed bugs from other people visiting your home or from visiting other homes. And the answer is simple. Yes, absolutely. If someone or somewhere has bed bugs and you visit them or visit that place, or they visit you, then absolutely you could end up with bed bugs. But you can't live in constant fear. So educating yourself about what to look for and how to prevent transporting bed bugs can combat possible infestations, of course. But once you familiarize yourself with the pest and the signs of infestation and the travel possibilities of the bed bug, then you can begin to pick up on infestations much quicker. And this can help you identify a problem just by sight. In other words, you won't have to go through and inspect a place, but you would be more able to spot some signs right away with just little visible effort. The purpose behind this is you can't very well go into a friend's home or a venue full of people and perform a serious bed bug inspection, or at least you don't want to. So being able to spot a few key signs and knowing how to prevent transporting them will better serve you in day-to-day activities than maybe going into a friend's home and saying, hey, I need to do a bed bug inspection before I can spend some time with you. So there's that. So another question we receive quite often is, what if I travel? Well, ideally, most hospitality businesses have staff members which monitor for bed bugs and a pest control company that would quickly respond with treatment. But there remains the fact that bed bugs can go undetected for lengthy periods of time, sometimes 2 to 6 months, and it's too expensive to do a bed bug treatment on a hotel room or a vacation rental property every time somebody leaves. So if you travel at all, there are a few preventative tips that you can use so you don't bring bed bugs home with you. The first one is never put your luggage on or near the bed. I know it's difficult. It's so easy just to come into a hotel and open your luggage right there on the bed. But ideally, you would bring it in, you would quickly unload it, take what you need out of it, and then take the luggage back to the vehicle. But that does take a lot of work and some serious dedication, and oftentimes we arrive late, or we're tired, or we have something to do. So alternatively, quickly unload your luggage, zip it all back up, and move it to the furthest area from the bed. This could be a bathroom, it could be the entrance, the hallway to the hotel room, or if you're in a vacation rental, maybe you take it to the furthest room from the bedroom that's not being used. But that's generally what you want to do. You want to keep it as far away from the bedroom as possible. Now, upon returning home, many companies will suggest running everything through a dryer, and I'm going to have to disagree on this, and for a few good reasons. First of all, dry items don't need to be made more dry because, well, they're already dry. But additionally, dry items pose a fire risk. That's unlikely, but it's possible, so we don't recommend you do that. Another reason is because modern dryers monitor moisture levels, and they will not allow items to be heated to a high enough temperature in order to kill bed bugs. And this happens for two reasons: to prevent fires and to conserve electricity. We actually suggest a complete wash and dry cycle. It's simple. Wash your clothes, and some of the possible hitchhikers may be drowned or sucked down the drain on the discharge cycles. And any others, they'll be well cared for in the dry cycle. So you get the best of all worlds. You get clean clothes, no bugs, and no fire hazard. So there's no risk, and clean clothes. So that's the way we think and operate here at Four Seasons Pest Solutions. We like to kind of think outside the box and do things that make sense and that will accomplish goals much easier and much quicker. But the fact remains that though you may be able to wash and dry your clothes and some other items, everything can't be washed and certainly can't be dried. So what do? Well, store those items as far away from the bedroom and living room as possible. For instance, luggage, you could store it in the attic, basement, or garage, or maybe an unused room upstairs. But if you suspect hitchhikers on luggage, either hire a pest control inspection or maybe consider discarding and purchasing new. But that's only necessary if you're fairly certain that there's a problem. But what you need to remember when dealing with bed bugs and the possibility of hitchhikers coming in on your personal belongings is just use good common sense. If you think there might be bed bugs on it, or you suspect that you could have had bed bugs where you were at, don't bring that stuff into your bedroom, because that's where bed bugs most want to be. Another question we get is, how long does it take bed bugs to reproduce and infest once you get them in the home? Well, once they find a place to live, reproduction can begin immediately. Now, a single male won't be able to reproduce, but a mated female will. So the old saying is this: there's never just one. So that's not exactly true, because there could be just one. The question is whether it's a mated female or an unmated female, or maybe even a male. So if a male gets into your home, one, and that's all you're going to have. If a mated female gets in, or even a pair of bed bugs make it into your home, reproduction could begin right after a blood meal. And so once the blood meal's taken place, then and only then can eggs be laid. And it generally takes about 4 to 6 weeks to complete their gradual metamorphosis and bring them to a breeding age. So you have the egg and 5 larval stages, and then the pupal stage is skipped in bed bugs, and the 5th larval stage actually emerges as an adult. Now that doesn't take 4 to 6 weeks, but the process from egg to mature adult takes 4 to 6 weeks. Now, once mated, blood meal obviously is required to deposit those eggs, as I said previously. So as long as a meal is present, every 6 weeks, you could have a new generation of bed bugs reproducing in your home or business. Now, it's important to note that if bed bugs are introduced to an area where they cannot get a blood meal, no reproduction is possible. So basically, places where no one ever sits stationary, no one sleeps, no one stands, or spends any amount of time in a single spot for any length of time, those places are less likely to have an infestation from introduced bed bugs. Or for that matter, they're not likely to have an infestation at all. So we tell people this very often if they call, maybe it's a garage or something of that nature, and they say, hey, we found some bed bugs, can you come and treat? Well, sure, we can come and treat, but we want you to understand the chances of you getting an infestation are slim to none. So another question we get quite often is probably one of our most popular questions, actually. Do bed bugs transmit any diseases? And currently, there are no documented cases of disease transmission in bed bugs. So in order to transmit disease, a vector has to be part of the life cycle of that particular disease. So for instance, Lyme disease requires a tick in order to be spread. And then there's other diseases like malaria and Rocky Mountain spotted fever, which require a host transmitter as well. So basically what this means is Rocky Mountain spotted fever and Lyme disease and malaria, those can't be transmitted from human to human or from any other source to humans, but have to use that particular host, if you will, to spread that disease. Now at the present moment, there are no known or documented diseases which require bed bugs in order to be spread. So if there is good news in a bed bug infestation, I would say that this is probably it. Now, our most common question that we receive with bed bug calls is, what can I use to kill these bed bugs? Or can you help me figure out how I can do this myself? DIY treatment. We've heard the horror stories, we've seen the movies, I've seen it in real life through 15 years of treatment of bed bugs now. And it's a common phone call that we get. We would love to be able to talk to those who are facing bed bugs before they try to self-treat. And here's why. Generally, DIY treatments are ineffective. And it's for a number of reasons. You have inferior products, misapplication, wrong treatment methods, lack of follow-through, wrong treatment type, wrong active ingredients, and so on. There's much more. And so this all creates a problem. So DIY treatments aren't necessarily cheap, and they can actually cause pesticide resistance in bed bugs. They can ruin furniture, they can ruin walls and floors, and studies have shown that especially the use of foggers or bug bombs have almost no effect on bed bugs, but are known to cause serious illness and even death in some users. Of course, this would be from misuse, early re-entry, or not leaving the home or the premises when the bomb is in use. But most of our customers who have tried DIY bedbug treatments before finding us have at least one thing in common, and that's that they have already spent thousands of dollars buying over-the-counter products that just didn't work, and they've replaced furniture because those products didn't work, and bedbugs have subsequently ruined it. So by the time they call us, often they spent 2 to 3 times as much as our treatment would have cost them. And that's a bit disheartening to many people, and it's a real disservice that big manufacturers do to the consumer. Really marketing insecticides for difficult pests like bed bugs makes them millions and even billions of dollars. Personally, I really don't like the idea behind it, because they know that you don't know how to use those products, and they count on that. So I'm not throwing them under the bus here, because honestly, I believe they just crawled underneath it themselves. But bug bombs, diatomaceous earth, even Harris bedbug spray, and all the other host and variety of products that are commonly advertised and sold to consumers who vainly use them over and over with little results, these are all marketed to the end user that they kill bedbugs, and it's not a lie. They do kill bedbugs. So can a fly swat, or a little spray of alcohol, or a flick to the bedbug, or a squishing. But just because it kills bed bugs don't mean it will eliminate an infestation. Now, another important factor is that bed bugs become easily resistant to low-dose active ingredients and misapplication of insecticides. So that means they become harder to eliminate. Now, if you couple all of this together with the fact that many people spend 12 or more months purchasing products, treating their home, and replacing furniture, and the end result is they end up having to call us because they still have bed bugs, now you can understand quickly why hiring a professional is in your best interest from the very beginning. So how much does it cost? That's a question everybody asks, and we're not going to get into cost today, but we do want to talk about professional treatment. If you hire a reputable pest control company, they're probably going to offer a variety of treatment options and maybe even warranties. So for instance, here at Four Seasons Pest Solutions, we offer our ACT bedbug treatment, or ACT bedbug program, which we developed over 10 years ago and have had a 100% success rate with for a decade now. Now, this plan is designed to fit almost any budget and any setting, and can be manipulated and modified on the fly as needed. So it's a great program, and it's one that we use often, but it's not the only program that we offer. So we want to be sure that we have a plan in place for every situation and for every individual. So we offer other options like our one-time treatments or heat treatments and more. We have a program for pretty much any setting and just about any budget. But what sets us apart from the competition above everything else is our warranties. So when we first offered our 30-day warranty, no one else that we knew of was offering a 30-day warranty. It was unheard of. That was roughly 10 years ago. And we came up to 60 days and 90 days. And every time we found someone was offering close to what we offered, we raised the bar. But most recently, however, we announced something that's brand new. As of January of 2023, we actually now offer the industry's first optional limited lifetime warranty on qualifying bedbug treatments. or at least it's the industry's first in the state of Kentucky and Tennessee. Now, we're convinced that our treatments are just that good and that we can stand behind them like nobody else stands behind theirs. So if you're facing a bedbug infestation, you think you may have brought them in, or just want to be sure you don't have them, Four Seasons Pest Solutions can help. Together, we have more than 100 years of combined experience and 44 years in the pest control industry with our sister company, Cumberland Service Exterminators. Our roots run deep in the community, and our borders range from Louisville and Knoxville and from Bowling Green to the Virginia border. So if you're facing a bedbug issue, or any other pest for that matter, I don't believe you will find a more dedicated team of pest professionals than right here in the heart of Kentucky at Four Seasons Pest Solutions. And we always want you to remember that it's okay to live among pests, but you don't have to live with them, especially when it's bedbugs. So to give you just a few key tips, if you're wanting to look for bedbugs in your home, I suggest you start with a headboard. Look on the back side of the headboard, look on the front side of the headboard, the bottom of the headboard, every crack and crevice and nook and cranny. Move down to your rails and take your bed off the rails and your box spring off the rails and turn it and look at the bottom side of it. And oftentimes they'll have a white or a black kind of translucent thin covering. I suggest usually that be taken off and the entire box spring be inspected. Additionally, you can look at the seams and the tufts and folds of the mattress and check those out as well. Moving from the bed, you kind of have your bed area. Then generally you will have nightstands, maybe a dresser to one side or the other or in front, possibly a quilt chest at the foot of the bed or something of that nature. Maybe a smaller day bed or a sitting area of some sort. Anything that's within 5 feet of the bed should be checked. And it's not just to be looked at. Generally, it's going to require not a terribly bright flashlight, but a flashlight and some movement. We're going to have to get involved with this and turn things over and look in the depths of them. Look in the cracks and the crevices, down to the inside of a screw head. I mean, it sounds crazy, but these little crevices, that's what bedbugs love. So another place that you can look is if you've traveled, you can check your purses and wallets and shoes and other items you had in the hotel, especially your luggage. Check the zipper area, check all the folds, and check inside and outside in the wheels and all of this. So you really have to get involved with this. So if you suspect that you have bed bugs, then that's what you need to do. But what if you suspect that someone has bed bugs that you are visiting, like a family member, a mother or father or someone like that? How could you do an inspection there? Well, if permitted, much the same way. But if they're not going to permit you to, or you're too embarrassed to ask, or afraid that they will be embarrassed, then learning how to identify bed bugs and bed bug eggs in all of their life stages, if you will, is good. Learning how to identify key things like blood spotting and shed skins and maybe bites, or if your loved one is scratching a lot and seem to be itching a lot, or you see bites on their body, things of that nature. That's really what you want to look for in those situations that could help you identify bed bugs when you otherwise couldn't really inspect for them. So at the end of the day, really education is key in helping to control bed bugs and making sure you don't have bed bugs at home. And we want our customer base to be educated. We want the public to be educated because bed bugs are something that even I can get. Even though I'm president and CEO of a pest control company, that doesn't make me immune to bed bugs. Millionaires and billionaires, they're not immune to bed bugs. Exceptionally clean homes, those aren't immune to bed bugs. Bed bugs are no respecter of persons, and they will infest anywhere. The difference is that usually the more dirty or the more cluttered a home is, and the less the home is cleaned, the more the bugs are going to be able to reproduce and not be seen for some period of time. Whereas in cleaner homes and homes that are less cluttered, homes maybe that have housekeepers or someone that cleans very frequently, those bugs are likely to be caught much earlier, and subsequently those bugs can be eliminated quicker as well. So money doesn't necessarily play a role in whether bed bugs can infest. It plays a role in whether or not they're allowed to proceed in infesting, and that's what makes the difference. So here at Four Seasons, we do try to accommodate those that are less fortunate and those whose incomes may be fixed or otherwise are poorer than other individuals. We try to have a program for them as well. We are limited on what we can do, but by all means, if you feel like you can't afford a bed bug treatment, you could at least give us a call and we'll try to work with you. So we do try to do that.
It's good to have Four Seasons on your side.